Hey, fourth grade, we are going to be reviewing also this week the skill of division word problems. And for these specific word problems, you're going to have to remember what the inverse operation of division is. So who can tell me what the inverse operation of division is? Very good. Multiplication. Both multiplication and division use equal parts. So just keep that in your head while we work out these problems. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you have your iReady math packet with you, go ahead and turn to page 19. That's where the division word problems are going to be. In your pace chart, it says for you to do 5 through 8. We're going to work 1 and 3 together so that you can use the strategies that we talk about during this video lesson to help you solve the other problems. If you need some extra practice, go ahead and do 2 and 4 on your own, okay? So let's start with number 1. Now, there isn't a whole bunch of space to work things out, so I'm going to have a separate sheet of paper there on this side so that I can use that as my scratch paper. Remember, if you need extra paper to solve a problem, go ahead and do that. Sometimes they don't give you enough space to work. All right, so let's take a look at number 1. And we're going to be reading this problem 3 times through, and we're going to be using cubes to help us solve it, so that we are doing all of those steps and using all of our math thinking. All right, there are 5 times as many tulips as rose bushes in a garden. There are 15 tulips. How many rose bushes are in the garden? All right, this problem is all about gardening. You could have said roses, you could have said tulips, you could have said flowers, but that's what this problem is about. All right, let's go ahead and read it the second time through. There are 5 times as many tulips as rose bushes in a garden. There are 15 tulips. How many rose bushes are in the garden? All right, the second time through, we underline the question, and we do that first so that we know what information is important. We're not going to circle or box anything until we know what it's asking us. And this question is asking us how many rose bushes are in the garden. So I'm going to go ahead and write on my scratch paper, R for rose bushes equals question mark. That's what it's asking us to find. All right, we're going to read it our third time through, and this time we're going to be looking for important numbers to circle and key words to box. There are 5 times as many tulips as rose bushes in a garden. There are 15 tulips. How many rose bushes are in the garden? All right, let's go ahead and circle all of the important numbers first. I see 5 times as many. Oops. And I also see 15 tulips. All right. I don't see any other numbers, so let's go ahead and move on to key words. I know I already circled it, but times as many is going to be an important key phrase for this problem. I also see how many. I don't see any others, do you? Nope, I think I've got all of them. All right, so let's go ahead and write down the information we know. We already know it's asking us how many rose bushes are there. And now we are going to find out how many tulips are there. How many tulips are in the garden? Very good. That's one of the numbers that we circled, 15. So I'm going to write T equals 15. So off to the side, we've just noted some of the important things that we need to use in our problem. Let's take a look at that other number in our word problem. It says times as many. What operation does that mean? Very good, multiplication. So I'm going to just write 5 and the multiplication sign, 5 times. All right, so now we're going to have to really put on that math thinking helmet and think through this problem. So it says that it's a division word problem up here in the top, but I don't see division in here. I see times as many. So we need to be using the thinking, the knowledge we know about multiplication and division to figure out how this is a division problem. All right, so take a look at the wording of this problem. It says there are 5 times as many tulips as rose bushes in the garden. So are we going to multiply the tulips by 5 or the roses by 5? We are actually going to be multiplying the roses by 5 because it says there are 5 times as many tulips, and we know how many tulips there are as rose bushes. So we can write 5 times R. And what is that going to equal? As many tulips. Very good. Tulips. So now we have an equation to work from. It's still not division, but I think it's coming, division will be coming up soon. 5 times R equals T. Now we know some of these numbers, so let's go ahead and find out what this variable equals and plug it in. 5 times, do we know roses? Nope, that's the problem we're trying to figure out. Equals tulips. Do we know our tulips? Yes, we do. They equal 15. 5 times R equals 15. Now, can we multiply 5 times R? No, we don't. We need to use the inverse operation. This is where division comes in. So we are going to think in our head, what number times 5 gives us 15? Or we're going to be thinking, what 15 divided by equals 5? So we could rewrite this as a division problem to give us R. So those are 2 different ways you can be thinking through this problem. Use whichever one makes the most sense to you. Either 5 times what number equals 15, or 15 divided by 5 gives us what number? All right, and no matter where you are, where your math thinking is, R will equal, very good, 3. All right, there is one other kind of problem that you're going to be looking at, and that is number 3. So let's go ahead and use our strategies for number 3, and we're going to be reading it 3 times through and doing the same logical thinking that we did for number 1. There are 18 blueberries in a bowl. There are 3 times as many blueberries as strawberries in the bowl. How many strawberries are in the bowl? Yum. This problem is all about berries. I love blueberries and strawberries. So whatever you said, blueberries, strawberries, bowl, they're all correct. That's what this problem is about. Let's keep reading our second time through to find the question. There are 18 blueberries in a bowl. There are 3 times as many blueberries as strawberries in the bowl. How many strawberries are in the bowl? What is the question? What is it asking us? Very good. It's asking us how many strawberries are in the bowl. So I'm going to write over here, I need to know strawberries. That's what we don't know. S equals question mark because we don't know that yet. All right, we're going to read it our third time through, and this time we're going to circle important numbers and box keywords. There are 18 blueberries in a bowl. There are 3 times as many blueberries as strawberries in the bowl. How many strawberries are in the bowl? All right, just like we did in the problem before, let's go ahead and circle our key, our important information, important numbers first. All right, so I see 18 blueberries. And I see 3 times as many. All right, let's go ahead and box keywords. And just like the problem before, we are going to box times as many because that's an important key term. And we're also going to box how many. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this problem and break it down just like we did the problem beforehand. We are asked how many strawberries there are. Do we know how many blueberries there are? Very good. So I'm going to write B equals 18. So we know how many blueberries there are. We don't know how many strawberries there are. Let's see what else we know. It says there are 3 times as many. So just like before, I'm going to go ahead and write 3 with the multiplication sign because I know that's what that means. Times as many means times, multiplication. All right, now let's go ahead and create an equation. There are 18 blueberries in a bowl. There are 3 times as many strawberries in the bowl. How many strawberries are in the bowl? So if I'm thinking through this problem, I am going to think that I have 3 times as many strawberries as blueberries. 3 times as many strawberries as blueberries. So my equation is 3 times S equals B. Now we're going to plug in the numbers we do know. So we have 3 times, do we know our strawberries? Nope, that's what we're trying to figure out. Do we know our blueberries? Yes, we do. Now, just like in the other problem, you can use multiplication to figure this out because multiplication and division are inverse operations. So if in your head thinking what times 3 equals 18 makes the most sense, go right ahead. However, we know since they are inverse operations and we have the total and one part, we could rewrite this equation as a division problem. 18 divided by 3 equals S. Because remember, in division, we're given the total and one part. In multiplication, we're given both parts and not the total. So now we can solve it either way. 3 times what number equals 18, or 18 divided by 3 equals what number? No matter how you solve it, you'll end up with 6. All right, kids, I hope that math thinking helps you through all of the rest of the problems you're going to be working on this page. If you have any questions, give me a call. I'll also be going over some of these kinds of questions during our math meeting later in the week. So if you need some more help, go ahead and join those math meetings and we'll try and help you out. All right, I hope to see you there.